Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining the Work Talk podcast. Last week, I mentioned my buddy Mike was going to join us, but he had to cancel and flake on me, that bastard, but I still love the guy. But my good online friend, who I had a good chat with just now, graced me with her presence and has joined us on the podcast. So I want to thank Belgica for joining me. And if you could tell me and the listeners what you do.
So I am an actress based out of the Bay Area, and I am also a YouTuber on my other downtime between auditions and gigs and stuff. And of course, I have some other survival day job kind of gigs.
Yeah. So how'd you get into acting? What's your story?
So I don't know. I in my family, like entertainers and stuff like that is always something like, ooh, that's cool. Like you like to, put on shows and stuff. Like I feel like everybody's family is like that. Like come do a show. So growing up, I was always like that person that did like, I don't know, was like the center of attention somehow. And I never considered being an actress until I took a high school drama class and I was like, oh shit, I want to be an actor. Like this is so much fun. Because it's not really something, at least for me, that was like growing up, I was like, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a midwife. I'm going to be something that my parents expect me to be because we are immigrants from Mexico. So it's like very expected to you to go like a linear path.
Mm-hmm.
So when I took that class, I was like, there's no doubt in my mind that this is what I want to do. It's so much fun. You can teach people, you can inspire people. So that theater acting class when I was 16, I want to say it was my junior year of high school. We did a play and like everybody would just laugh at stuff I said. And I was like, this is amazing. My teacher cried after me and a friend did a skit. She was like, you guys are so good. I'm so proud of you. And I was like, this is amazing.
Damn, what was that skit? I want to see it now.
It was something really just it was just like a really simple skit, but because we performed it so well in her eyes, like she was just so proud of us, and it was just like one class, it was like one semester. We hadn't had a theater class in that school for like probably 10 years. I don't even know. Like this was an English teacher who was like, we need theater at this high school. And then she provided us with that class and basically saved my life because I had no idea what I was going to do with my life.
That's really cool. Do you feel like acting's hard?
Um, I feel like it can be hard, but you can choose different roles that will make it fun, and if it's challenging, it'll be like a fun challenge, so it won't feel hard. Like I prefer not to audition for things that require like sexual scenes or stuff that's too depressing unless it has a really inspiring story at the end, because for me, I don't want to put myself in the position where I have to like kiss a guy that's not my boyfriend. It's just going to be uncomfortable. Like maybe one day if they pay me $20,000 for like kissing Zac Efron or something, like I'll do it. But for now, like that would be hard for me, and just getting into certain characters is hard. But I think, at least in my perspective, it doesn't seem hard because it's so enjoyable to me.
Right. My wife, she likes watching 50 Shades of Grey. So I went with her just to support her. But she was saying this,
Right.
She was saying the same thing. She was following those actors and he's like, that guy has a wife. What does she think when she watches that? I'm like, hey babe, they're professionals, But I don't know if I could do that. That's pretty tough.
Yeah, I actually had a conversation with my boyfriend early on because we've been together for almost 6 years. 6 years oh my gosh, 6 years on Friday.
Ooh, congrats.
And thank you.
Yeah.
And I had to like tell him like, hey, this is like, I'm gonna probably have to do it. What should I do when that comes up? Should I tell you before it happens or after? And he basically just told me like, it's cool, don't tell me. I want to hear about you kissing some guys. So I do, like, if I have to do it, I will tell him, like, hey, I did it. It's going to come out this and then. So, but I've been lucky so far that I got booked for a kissing scene and we were able to fake it. So it wasn't uncomfortable at all.
Hey, tell me about some of your acting roles, acting gigs.
So I've been like more actively pursuing more commercial stuff and on camera stuff for about a year and a half now. And a lot of the stuff in the Bay Area is more commercial stuff, like for tech companies, or there are once in a while some bigger productions that come into town, but a lot of it is for extras. So I've done quite a bit of extra work. I've done a bunch of commercials for a bunch of different local companies. Like I think in my last vlog, I posted the one with Goodwill. So I did a Goodwill
Right.
commercial.
Shout out to
I've done,
Goodwill.
woo, I love
I love
Goodwill.
Goodwill too. I buy their stuff. I donate to them.
Yes, me too. It's like a cycle. Um, I did a Honda commercial in November for their like 14 days of Black Friday or something. So I was like on TV for Honda for like 14 days because they only broadcasted it during that time. Um, and I did a series of commercials for SoFi, the financial company, for their social media advertisings. Um,
It's a lot of commercial roles
I,
over here,
yeah,
especially
a
in the
lot
Bay
of
Area. That's what I heard too. From
yeah.
you said you for my third guest on my podcast, it was Manuel, and you mentioned on Instagram
Mhm.
that you guys met. He was saying the same thing. A lot of it's kind of commercial stuff.
Yeah, we did a real estate commercial, and we were extras. But it's funny because when a lot of people think of extras, a lot of people think of like people just walking by, you know. And at least here in the Bay Area, when they say extras, it means that you are like a person in the commercial, and most likely your face, your expressions, your body is gonna be clearly shown, but you're not gonna say anything. So the only time you will be called principal is when you actually have lines, and that hardly ever happens. You can be like a featured extra or an extra, even if you're like a face. Like for that, I don't know if you saw the Goodwill commercial on
Yeah, I
my
saw it.
vlog,
Yeah,
but you can clearly see that that's me, right? But I was still considered an extra in that commercial. So I don't know. It's kind of the wordings are kind of funny. And it's kind of like modeling because you're not really acting that much. You're just like showing emotions and being around. So it's weird because I feel like most of the stuff I do isn't even acting because I don't have like a specific character that they provided for me. They kind of just give you an idea like, oh, you're a mom, you're gonna do a dinner, that kind of thing.
right. Do you have a goal of where you're
A
gonna be
goal.
down the road?
Um, my goal is to happily be able to pay for my bills through acting. I think YouTube is
it's a
an
tough
amazing
it's a tough
platform.
profession. A lot of people have the day job. They're grinding, hustling to find gig after gig and promoting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
respect,
that's pretty
respect.
much it. Thank you. That's pretty much it for me. Like I'm constantly looking for another gig. I'm constantly looking of people to collaborate with on YouTube just to stay creative and expand kind of my following and just see what I like. Like I've learned that I really like to collaborate with people. So as far as back to like the acting goal is that I think my biggest thing would be I don't want to be famous because I want to be able to not care about how I look all the time. Like I want to be able to go to Target with like something in my teeth by accident, you know,
Yeah,
and just like be able to walk. I want to be able to go to Disneyland when I have kids, like that kind of stuff. So I want to be like famous enough to make money to be able to like help my family and pay for my bills, but not famous enough for anybody to recognize me. Like people are like, nah, that's not her, you know?
you want that sweet spot.
Yeah, like a sweet spot where people don't like. I feel like if somebody was to offer me a big role, I'd probably be like, because I don't want to. Like, can I be like the friend that comes out in like two
Yeah, it
scenes
could be
instead?
the supportive role where it's amazing. People would know me for a while, and then after that, they would forget me, but it's all good.
Yeah, because you get money.
Yeah.
We're able to have fun and be creative and be on set, so that's all really fun.
Could you tell me about one of your jobs that was pretty memorable for you?
Um, like an acting gig.
Yeah, an acting gig. Memorable as
Uh,
in, and you could choose what you mean, what your definition of memorable is. It could be most embarrassing or your biggest challenge, whatever you want.
I don't think I've had an embarrassing one. I've definitely, uh-oh.
Oh
Can you
yeah.
see me?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
There we go. And if anything, by the way, technically, like if the call
Me.
gets cut off, I could always just fix it, so it's fine.
Okay, let me phone because it's low.
Yeah, go ahead. Hey, Cynthia, go ahead. She's getting, she's fixing her phone. Want to say hi?
Hi, Cynthia.
She says hi, Cynthia. She had to get her laptop. You going down?
um,
Okay, that's my wife.
um, okay, so story. I
Yeah.
also, like I said, I have a BA in theater. So I've done a lot of theater acting, and I did this festival competition last year at Piano Fight. It's a place, it's like a theater bar place in San Francisco. They have like a full bar with restaurant, and then they have these awesome theater spaces. Like one seats like 95 and the other one like 55, and it's very collaborative. And we did a festival last year called Short Lived, and I was in two different rounds. Like it's rounds of short plays, and that was just so much fun because I think it was like 6 shows a night, and so there was like 6 groups of people, all actors. And so you got like backstage, stuff going on, like a lot of people, and then upstairs is like a competition because it's like 10 minutes ish, the plays. So it was just really fun, and one of my teams made it to the finals, so we got to go to the finals, and like all the best from each week kind of get to compete at the end. And since it's like a super collaborative, small-ish theater, the payment was a drink voucher per night. You got a free drink and got to mingle with like a bunch of up and coming like theater artists like yourself. Like you get to meet a bunch of directors, a bunch of writers, a bunch of other actors, even dancers. And for that competition in particular, it's a $5,000 prize at the end. And we didn't win, but it was still so much fun just to be in the same building so many nights with other artists like yourself, like just, it was just really fun. And I
Aw.
wanted to again this year, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to, since I'm pursuing a lot more on camera stuff, and I would have to commit to some rehearsals and some performances for sure. So I'm going to see, but I just love, like I was saying, I love collaborating. So for me to be in the same building as like 50 actors and writers and stuff a day, like just getting to talk to them and get to know them. Yeah, that was just really, really fun. And I got to meet an actress that's also a chef that got to audition for Good Mythical Morning. I don't know if you know them. They're a YouTube channel. I
Mm-mm.
think they have something like combined 22 million subscribers or something. But now she's on that channel and
Wow.
she's their
Yeah.
chef. She's also on that. So I just, you just get to meet really cool people.
Is it like Whose Line Is It Anyways? That competition?
No, it's like so people submit their short plays or monologues, and then they will cast people, they'll choose their director,
Mm.
and after that they'll get to perform each weekend. It's like 6 groups, and the best from each weekend is selected to be in the finals.
Wow.
And then the finals, the best people compete and get $5,000.
Wow. Do you get nervous?
Not anymore, not really. I mean, I think I get nervous if I'm not prepared, because then I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
I suck. That's what. But if I'm prepared, if I'm confident, then I usually don't get nervous. I was nervous when they would announce every night who got voted, because the audience also, I forgot to mention the funnest part, the audience votes to see
Mm.
who is the best.
Right.
So I
You
got
gotta
nervous
impress
when they
them.
were announcing,
You gotta
huh?
impress them.
Yeah, I got nervous when they were announcing who won. I was just like, oh my God. But I don't really get nervous like on stage that much because it's fun, and everybody has a different experience, but I kind of lost my stage fright in college.
That's cool. That's cool. So you have a long background of doing it from school, and
hmm
I wanted to segue and ask about the YouTube. How did that all happen?
So, um, I had a day job. I was a wardrobe supervisor at the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco. They have a theater called The Strand, and so I was there for a long time. And I was like, cool, I'll be like in theater still. I can audition and stuff and have this job. Well, that never happened. I never made really any connections. So finally, I was like, hey boss, I'm quitting. I need to concentrate on acting. I need a job that is more flexible. And when I quit my day job, I had like nothing going on at home. I was just like submitting to auditions and going crazy. And I was like, oh my God, I have nothing to do. And I'm like a puppy. Like I need to be doing something or
Right.
else.
Yeah, you're doing like a lot of things. And
Yeah.
by the way, listeners, the way we met was online because I like to watch vloggers locally in the Bay Area, and then I saw your channel, and not only did you make videos, you did and acting, but you work at the ice cream museum. You're always self-learning things like Adobe Premiere. So
Hmm.
you're hustling, girl.
Yeah. So, yeah, so I had like nothing to do at home. So I thought I should make a YouTube channel. Like my best friend has been telling me since 2008 to make a YouTube channel, and I was like, why didn't I listen to her back then? So just with all this free time, I thought I need to be doing something creative. So I ordered a tripod on Amazon and some lights that came up to like $60, super cheap, and I started recording um the videos on my iPhone 5S, which I still use my iPhone
Hey,
5S, all
iPhone
of my videos.
5S too. Hey,
Hey!
high five.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of it can get hard because the battery life and the storage,
Yeah, yeah, you're telling me.
but
I know exactly what you mean. I get jealous of
yeah,
all my friends with the iPhone 8s or using their
or the
DSLRs
X,
or the X,
yeah,
yeah. And you and
yeah.
I here just
But
doing our thing with our iPhone 5S.
yes, we should have like an iPhone 5S club until they stop working because we know that Apple is trying to
Oh
make us
yeah.
buy
Yeah. And
new.
then it's like, darn, I have to get a new phone.
Yeah, they're so expensive.
Okay, so that's how you got started on YouTube. Just friend mentioned it, you had extra time, you got into it, then you started you do like you do a lot of stuff on you do a lot of different videos because you do vlogs, you do beauty reviews, right?
Yeah, so back when I didn't know what my channel was going to be about, I kind
Mm.
of just did whatever. Like whatever I felt inspired by, I was like, I'll do that. I've done vegan recipes, I've done like boxes, like subscription boxes reviews, I've done reviews on like Passion Planner. So I used to just do whatever. And then when I was on vacation for Christmas, I was like, okay, I need to decide what I want my channel to be about so that I don't just feel all over the place because I had like a million ideas, but then I would get stuck because I was like, where do I even go? So I decided I want it to be about acting. So now I do vlogs on Mondays about my acting, like auditions I'm getting, gigs I'm doing. And then on Thursdays, I'll do other acting related videos, like how to do a self-tape audition or how to set up a studio in your room so you can do those auditions. Just like a lot of acting related advice. And that way I can continue to learn about acting because when I do the videos, I do research, so I am making sure that I'm telling them the truth as far as that I can see. So yeah, I do mostly acting related videos, and I do them in English and in Spanish.
That's awesome. It looks like you have fun with a lot of them. And listeners, I do watch a lot of her videos, and I would always comment on there, and I comment on a lot of your stuff, so I hope you're not annoyed by all those notifications and you see my name
No,
popping
I
up often.
appreciate it. No, that's what we small YouTubers need. We need
Yeah.
more, more people commenting and liking and subscribing because if you have like 10 subscribers, people are going to be like, are they that good? They'll just go away. Where if you have a bunch of comments and subscribers, they'll be like, oh, well, they have this many subscribers. Like, I should check out some of their stuff.
Right. That's exactly
So
how I feel about content I put out there. At the end of the day, I just want someone to say, hey, man, that was pretty useful, or that was kind of funny. As long as I'm giving value to someone, it feeds me. And if no one's
yeah,
getting value from it, then I'm going to say, all right, whatever, I'll maybe do something else.
yeah, because everybody wants to feel like validated or appreciated. So it's nice to just hear from anybody like, hey, I've watched your videos. And I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you. Like, my mom doesn't even watch my videos.
I don't even think my wife watches my videos.
Really?
She only watches them and she tries to just look for scenes with her in it, and that's it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny. Well, my boyfriend actually, he does watch them, but I'm sure he gets bored because they're about acting and he's not an actor. He's doesn't even like to having pictures or videos taken of him.
Yeah.
But he does it, I think, because he sees me and hears me like filming and sees how hard I go for it. So
Yeah.
he watches them on like double speed so he can get done with
It's like, let's get this over with.
yeah. I mean, he like knows most of the things that I say on my vlog anyway because I tell him. But sometimes I'll just be like, I'm not gonna tell him this in real life. I'm just gonna ask him to watch it.
All right, I got my last question for you.
All right.
If someone wants to do what you do, what do you tell them?
I would definitely say to get some training as far as like the acting, because a lot of people just are like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be an actor. And they submit to auditions and stuff, but they don't really know what they're doing. So they're kind of working against themselves because you have to be prepared. You have to have some training, even if it's just like a 10-week course, introduction to acting, just so you can know like what goes on to do it. Definitely if they already are in college and are about to graduate, I suggest going for it and trying to get an agent, going for it and getting SF casting account, backstage account, just to like get a bunch of submissions. Because me, when I graduated college, I was like, I'm not good enough. I need more education, so I didn't apply for an agent till last year, and I've been graduated from college for almost 5 years. So I definitely say be confident and just go for it.
That's awesome.
Because
Awesome.
If you don't do it right now, it's not gonna happen.
That's awesome. Really learn the craft. Get some training.
Yeah, for sure.
I have a tip for them too.
Yeah.
They could watch your videos.
Yes! Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, actually, my real answer is watch my videos.
And let's go ahead and segue into that. If someone wants to reach you, how do they find you?
So I am on Instagram and YouTube mostly, and my YouTube page is Belgica Paola, which is my first name and middle name, and then my Instagram is belgica.rodriguez.professional. And if you don't mind putting it down in the description
of
for people to
course.
see.
I'll definitely put it in. If anyone wants to see what Belgica, and she did correct me on saying her name the right way, so thank you for that.
Thank you.
If any of you guys want to see what she's up to, check out the show notes, my descriptions. But that's it. I'm going to start wrapping up this podcast. Thank you so much for gracing me with your presence and sharing with us what you do.
Thank you.
My next guest might be my former mentor who taught me job development, Daniel Newell, or it might be another person who I met actually online. He owns a barbecue business, and I might do a podcast on Sunday, gonna figure out who those two people might be, but that will be the next podcast session. All right, listeners, thank you so much. You guys have a good one. All right, take care.